and welcome to round 8 of the Daredevil Turbo Series, coming to you from Iowa Speedway, in the middle of nowhere. Actually, it's just outside of Des Moines a little bit, but it is kind of built in the middle of nowhere. But this track is perfectly made for these cars, and we're going to have some great weather tonight. 77 degrees ambient, 79 track temperature. We're going to see a lot of draft racing, and that's what people come and want to watch and see, the exciting action of the Daredevil Turbo Series. Hello again, everybody. This is Gary Gatto. Again, this is race first coverage of round 8 of the Daredevil Turbo Cup, or Daredevil Turbo Series, not the Cup. And we are lining up here. They decided to go ahead and stop quals early, and kind of threw meat off a little bit there. But as you see, it's let's get the grid up here. And that's not going to work. We're going to get the grid up at all. Well, it looks like it's Fell, Vandesant, Yoshikawa, Shire, Curtis, Cosgrove, Teeter, Smith, Ragster, Heinekamp, Patty, Houston, and Janie. 13 cars are lining up. I don't think I'll be able to get the grid open in time here to... All right, let's see if we can get it going here. There you go. Let's get on Simon Fell in the Raul Boisel Duracell throwback. Great choice as we're getting ready to go racing. Here we go. Fields under control of Fell. Green flag in the air, and we are going. Already jostling for position in the back. Here we are from the front of Simon Fell's car, going into turn 1. And right underneath him is Yoshikawa in the Parker Johnstone throwback. As Simon Fell's kind of getting swallowed up a little bit by the back markers here. But that's okay. You lose just get back in the draft and you're right back in it. But Alex Vandesant's going to lead one of 86 here tonight. Here goes Simon Fell. He's going down to the bottom there. Getting that position back on the inside of Yoshikawa. Again, we'll go through some of the throwback chassis and paints tonight. But yeah, there is Raul Boisel from the mid-90s. He drove for Dick Simon. Oh, these two have hooked up, and they look like they're pulling away. This is really, these are the top two guys, kind of in the let's say the guy with the most momentum going up in the points, and your points leader right here, 1 and 2, Alex Vandesant and Wes Shire, going down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Wow, look, a couple of cars get a little bit further on back. They got up into the wall almost. There's James Curtis in his regular livery. John Cosgrove. He's in the Ganassi Racing familiar livery from the 90s there. Alex Teeter, a little further on up. He is in, I believe he's in the Team Cool Green car. When we get a better look at him, there he is. Paul Tracy, Dario Franchitti, Parker Johnstone, you name it. A whole bunch drove that livery. Michael Janey, he said he's not an oval racer. He is just kind of hanging out here in the back. Not a bad strategy, I'll tell you that right now. Really, the battle is at the front. This is a 7/8 of a mile, short oval, but it's shaped like a D, so it's got the tri-oval here. But it races like a super speedway. The bottom line is not the fastest line around, although it is the line he is running right there. As you'll see, as the night wears on, even in the draft, and even with these really hard Cooper tires, they are going to go to that middle lane, and that will help them maintain the momentum, if I can say it. Be able to maintain their positions. Right now, it's pretty much status quo. Vandercent, Shire, Yoshikawa, Fell, and Smith are your top 5. We already got 9 in the books. Vandercent has Tony Patty up ahead of him by about a second and a half here as he's starting to drag in, reel in here, the Turbo Series admin. Hey, I want to thank everybody watching from home. I want to thank everybody watching at Daredevil Brewery and the taproom and the restaurant, and everybody at the watch parties, Team Renovo watch parties. Thanks again for watching us here on, again, another pleasant Thursday night. And we've got lap traffic here, how they're going to make this work here. Hyman Fell, or excuse me, West Shire has a bit of a run there on the inside. He's going to try to get underneath them. Remember what I said, that the fastest line is not that line, but he is going to pull it off. Let's see here. Well, not quite. There you see where the momentum on the top line. That gives you a really good shot there of what the momentum on the top line gets you. Yoshikawa is starting to reel in this group as well. Oh, 3 wide there, a little bit further on back. Here's Fabian Ragster. He's back there with, let's see, Matt Houston right in front of Ragster there. The boss man. Looks like he's in the Lucky Strike. That's really not a IndyCar throwback, but we'll let him have it. Michael Handekamp in the Tony Stewart 1999 Indy 500 throwback. I think I mentioned I don't like seeing NASCAR liveries on Indy cars, but actually the Home Depot one here, they did a pretty good job on that one. Car up high into the wall. I don't know what was going on up there. Maybe he was just taking the high line. It was Cosgrove there. You can't lose a draft. And I think the top 3 have pretty much broken away. They're up actually a top 4. Smith has joined them now, or about a second and a third ahead of Fell. Here we go. Again, single file, staying into the draft here of the car in front of you. Help you maintain that momentum. Punching the hole in the air creates a vacuum behind the car and allows the car behind to have less resistance. Moves right on up into that void and then can pull out, pull off a pass. Right now they're not, looks like they're not geared in so far as that they're, most of the time 6 gear is a passing gear. Looks like they're racing 6 gear as a racing gear here. Could also be trying to save a little fuel. Probably only need to make 1 stop in this race. Michael Janney's already made a stop. Side by side. Giving another shot for the lead here. If you're watching from home and are joining us here on YouTube, make sure to share, like, and subscribe to the Raceverse channel. Thanks for joining us again. If you have a favorite driver out there, feel free to give us a shout out. We'll make sure we get them on your screen here so you can cheer them on. 3 wide going into 1. They're working on. See Yoshikawa getting a little slidey there in the backside. That second group has come up and joined them again. There's Daniel Smith, James Curtis, Alex Teeter in that second group. Your new leader, Wes Shire, your points leader. And with that note, there is the latest points. Wes Shire is your leader. James Curtis is P2. Alex Van de Sant, P3. Simon Fell, P4. Michael Janey is P5. McDonald, Ragster, Pannev, Yoshikawa, and Teeter round out the rest of your top 10. We'll look at that if there is ever a caution here later in the race in more detail. And also last week's results from the club course at Sebring. Last night had a really entertaining Schaefer's Cup race here in the R18s. Looks like these guys are putting on an equally as entertaining show. Yoshikawa getting around Van de Sant, putting Van de Sant back to P3. Yoshikawa now in P2. Daniel Smith taking a look here on the backside. Of Alex Van de Sant. This is supposed to be IndyCar Throwback Week. Like only a couple of are participating right now. Leaders are coming up on a lapped car. I believe that might be Tony Patty again, yep. Michael Janey is still in the pits, actually. Looks like an extended pit stop. Not sure what happened there. But his day is done after a win last week. Not to be this week. Hey, we're rapidly getting to the halfway point here. We're definitely a quarter of the way through here. 86 laps, about half the distance of the IndyCar race last night. IndyCar race actually had green flag pit stops at one point before a couple cautions there late kind of slowed it down a little bit. We might see green flag pit stops this race too. The pit road in, or the pit in here entrance is very treacherous. And it's very hard with these cars to get down on the apron to make that turn. I believe they're allowing them to enter directly off of 4 if they choose to do so. So we will see how dangerous that is going to be later in the race if we do indeed see green flag pit stops. Alex Van de Sant to the inside, coming into turn 3 around Shire. He's going to pull it off. Shire's going to fall back behind, stay in the draft. Yoshikawa is also right behind, maintain. Crossover for Shire into turn 1. Going to pull that position off here as he slowly slides up in front of Van de Sant. They have Ragster and Heinekamp about 2.5 seconds up the road apiece. So again, they are rapidly putting people a lap down here. We see a and Van de Sant putting "Let's go, Alex." Now is this, see, is this, like, I don't have my stream running on a normal big PC. Normally I do, and I can look up and I can see pictures a lot easier, but I kind of had to do a improvise today, and I got the stream running on my phone, so I can't really see your. Now, is that Ann a sister or a mother? Oh, we got Hugs kind of camped down there on the apron, making a unscheduled stop. We'll take a look at Camp as he's coming down pit road here. See what type of stop this is going to be here. Patty on pit road as well. This is going up on the jacks. This could be just a, looks like a standard stop. What else we got on pit road? We got someone else on pit road. Ragster is on pit road. This must be scheduled. Team Renovo not having a very good day. They kind of said it themselves, that they are not oval guys. In advance, I want to apologize about the... Oh, we got a car sideways up in front. That's Tony Patty. He recovers. Oh, the guy that actually Van de Sant had to roll out of it. Looks like Shire stayed in it, and he's put a little distance between himself and Van de Sant over that. Great save by Patty. An oh crap moment definitely for the leaders right there as they're going into turn one. Maybe we get a good get a look at that again. Oh, just loose going in. Oh, get down there. Wow. Good save. Good save. You can hear the cars rolling out of it there. Let's get back underway. There is Tony Patty making time. Back up to the leaders up front. This is where the battle is. This is really the chief points battle. Your other P2 in the standings here is areas in P6 in the race right now. Just kind of hanging out. James Curtis. Here we come to the halfway mark. No cautions yet. No cautions. Got close there. Oh. It's like Daniel Smith. And I got loose coming off of 4. These cars are starting to dance around a little bit. Check out to the inside of Dan Smith. Oh. Alex Van de Sant way up into the cheap seats there. Trying to get the momentum built up to close that gap to Shire. He's gone up to the high side. He's committed himself to it now. Simon Fell back up in this after falling back early. Your pole sitter. Starting to reel in. He must like the used tires. That must agree to his style. Yoshikawa leading a group of 5 cars here, all for position. Danny's are changing. This is a battle actually for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And 8th, actually. Most of the, pretty much the top 8 are hanging together here. Take a look at the last laps by for everybody. 147. 146s, 147s, and a 144 there. Cosgrove looks like he had to roll out of it a little bit. Addy's struggling with a 96, so he definitely has some issue that's keeping him down on speed. Here's Wes Shire. Simon Fell has joined the battle. We are halfway home here. I want to thank everybody for watching and remind them to check out Daredevil Brewery and their tap room there, right on Main Street in Speedway, Indiana, right across the street from AJ Foyt Racing, not too far from the main gates of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Make sure you enjoyed their #1 Pale Ale in the state. They are the 1998 Brewer of the Year Award in Indiana. Or 1998, excuse me. 2018 Brewer of the Year Award. And they have a restaurant up near in Nora, Keystone of the Crossing area. Right there off of, right there, Keystone and 96, the Nora exit right there on Keystone Parkway. Check that out as well. They typically have the races on there on every Thursday night. Of course, we got the Team Renovo watch party going on. How to thank them guys and say hello. And Daredevil Brewing, the #1 micro brew here in the state of Indiana. Everybody's now done 50 laps. Now, there's West Shire taking a deep cut there into turn 1, getting underneath Alex Van de Sant. And you got Michael Hanekamp up in front of him. He has made. Oh, we have a car entering pit road. That is Yoshikawa. So it looks like they are they are making them enter off the backstretch. They got two cars. That's Yoshikawa and is that Cosgrove? No, it's Teeter. Yeah. This is a scheduled stop, lap 52. This will get them home. Now, during the Schaefer Cup race last night, he who pitted first had the advantage. So maybe these guys learned a little something from last night, that they're going to go ahead and get the fresh rubber now. They top off the tanks just enough to get them home, and they will be setting some fast times. Current fast time right now is at 21.5 by Simon Fell. Right now he just turned a 21.9, so they are still moving and grooving up at the front as both those drivers are away scheduled stop. Darren Van de Sant starting to pull away from Simon Fell a little bit. Van de Sant in the pit road. This is a scheduled stop. Oh, keep it under. Oh, you can see that back end just dancing a little bit as he's coming under heavy braking to bring that car down. They're coming down, I believe it's 45 miles an hour, and the reason why it's not faster is because it's set to NASCAR speed limits and not IndyCar speed limits, because this is a NASCAR world and we're just living in it. And these cars are virtually crawling at that point, and they got to really woe it down to bring the cars in. If we can get a better view there. And we got a pit out there. Alex Van de Sant down on the way. Scheduled stop. He's good to go to the end. Let's check out now West Shire at front. Putting Heinekamp a lap down. Who's he coming up with? This is Ragster having some issues. But no, he's not going to pass him. This is a pit in for your leader, your points champion and leader, or your points champion, your points leader and leader of the race. Get it down. There you go. Oof. That is going to give James Curtis the lead. James Curtis is yet to stop. He's the last car to stop. Here he comes. He's pitting in. He went 57 laps. Going to be 58 when he crosses the start-finish line on that stint. So that's going to cycle back, and we're going to see who's in the lead here then. West Shire down away, and he might maintain the lead here. He does. Wow. So he needs to get around here and pass Curtis. He'll get, and then I believe he'll get his lap back, and not his lap back, he'll gain the position actually there. And there it is right there. So Curtis actually comes out ahead of Van de Sant, and there they are putting the boss man a lap down. I don't think he has stopped though. He stopped at lap 52. And Houston keeping on the high line there. Alex thinking about taking it 3 wide. Going to use Matt to get a slingshot down the back straight. and brings Alex right to the lead. Shire going to use Matt Houston again this time. Brings him a little bit closer in that draft. Van de Sant kind of pulls away. Kind of slides up in front of Houston. Really, we're rattling off these laps really quick. 61 of 86. Again, thank you, everybody. This is Race First coverage. Round 8 of the Daredevil Turbo Series. Coming to you from Iowa Speedway, where we're here for 75 miler, I believe. 86 laps is what we're calling it. The 7/8 of a mile oval. Located just outside of Des Moines. In fact, you'll pass it on the way in when you, if you ever should visit Des Moines. Coming from the east. Turns are banked, actually progressively, 12 to 14 degrees, front stretch 10 degrees, back stretch. Or caution on the racetrack. Caution. Who do we got? Oh, Ragster. Something happened to Ragster. As we see him in parts and pieces in pit road. We'll rewind a little bit. I bet you everyone's going to pit here. Get those fresh tires. Kind of hear him squirrely right there. Seems to be okay. Might have gone back a little bit too far. Yeah. Oh, overcorrects and right into the wall. Oh, that was very reminiscent of the wreck that you saw Sebastian Bourdais have when he was trying to qualify for Indianapolis. Even more scary, something more reminiscent of Gordon Smiley at 82 in Indianapolis. Just overcorrects and just noses it right up into the wall. Wow. Good thing this is a virtual race. Otherwise, he would be in a serious world of hurt if he was a real car and a real driver in a real cockpit there. So looks like we're getting someone's getting a wave around there. I believe that is Matt Houston. Yep, there he is. Matt Houston getting the wave around, the Lucky Strike car. So we get a bit of a respite here. 20 laps to go, lap 66. Your first caution of the night. Savion Ragster spinning between turns 1 and 2 and absolutely destroying his car. And let's see if we go to pit road. I would think that the tires are going to be an issue here. They were for the Schaefer Cup cars last night. No one is going to take it. I would figure maybe someone towards the end of the lead lap might take it. Interesting. So these hard Cooper tires apparently do not need as much replacing as these softer Firestones did in the Schaefer Cup there at the IndyCar. Most of these guys have less than 10 laps on this current stint. Van de Sant has 12 on his current stint right now. While we are waiting for caution here to clean up the mess and get everybody queued up for the restart, let's take a look at those series points again. West Shire currently is among the leaders up there in P1 in the points. He is P3, or actually P2 on the racetrack right now. James Curtis, P3 on the racetrack, P2 in the championship standings. Alex Van de Sant, P1, P3 in the current championship. So there's your main championship. Oh, actually, and Simon Fell in 4th there in the Duracell car. He is 4th in the championship as well. Your top 4, your main 4 in the championship are all right there. Shire with a 27, I believe, point lead on James Curtis. Math is not my strong suit, but yeah, he's got 190. Yeah, 27. Wow, Gary, he's wow. Anyways, but there you see, those are the points. Here's the results from last week from the road course. You see last week's Michael Janey goes from the winner last week to going last place this week, unfortunately. Alex Van de Sant finished on the podium there and is in podium position here. Yoshikawa, P3 on his first podium of the season. He is currently in P5 here, so he is still within reach. Dan Smith, also within reach of another good finish as well. Wes Shire, John Cosgrove, Simon Fell, James Curtis, all also involved in this race as well. And that is your standings from last week. Let's take a look at the schedule. And as you see, we are going to have an off week after this. So I wish everybody a great off week. And make sure to have fun. And if you do visit the Daredevil Brewery, make sure to eat a lot and drink responsibly. But then we'll go back to get on the road, go to Long Beach to the next to last road course. Then Milwaukee Mile, which should be another good race for these cars. Laguna Seca, and then probably is it the second? Yeah, I think it's the second largest oval that they're on this season at Gateway. That will be a great race. This car is built really well for that racetrack. And that's where we will end up having a Championship Thursday there on September 2nd. Well, we're getting ready to go green. Your current leader is Alex Van de Sant, followed by Wes Shire, James Curtis, Simon Fell, and Nakasiya Yoshikawa as your top 5. We're getting ready to go green. We're going to go green with about 16 laps to go. Green flag. Alex Van de Sant brings the protection up against the wall to that right side. Takes the green, immediately shoots to the bottom. That way, getting the most run down the banking to get up to speed, and also allowing the car behind him not to draft. But looks like Shire is already caught up in the draft. Overlay has been acting weird today. It's showing that it's currently still yellow on the racetrack. Just ignore that. We are clean and green right now. It's Van de Sant, Shire, Curtis, Fell, Yoshikawa, and Smith, your top 5. Also back there side by side. Let's take a look at that particular battle. Alex Teeter and John Cosgrove. Now that's actually kind of decided a little bit as they are now single file. But a bit of a gap between that's Matt Houston and Michael Hannekamp. Back up front. There's a shot from race verse 1. That's TC up there flying. Everyone say hi to TC. Simon Fell right there, Wes Shire right there on the yellow line. It's getting that clean air right to that front wing, allowing him to not to get the effects of the aero push. He's going to move right up next to Alex Van de Sant. It's going to challenge here going into the backstretch into turn 3. Side by side, these are your main protagonists in the championships, P1 and P2. If they don't look out right behind him, here comes P3 in the championship, or P2 in the championship. James Curtis. Drew a blank. Also, I was watching some action in the back there. And Curtis has worked his way up very slowly, methodically. Has not really been with the leaders all day, but he's been near the lead pack. And as we get to the witching hour here, he's put himself in a position to get his second win of the season. Simon Fell's broken away from that that group behind, and he's starting to pull away a little bit from Yoshikawa and Smith Teeter. But he's trying to gain or rise into that top group there with the aid of the draft from Curtis. And laps to go. It's gone by real quick, folks. I don't think these guys are going to budge, and we might even see them go 3 wide here as we start to close this thing out. I don't think Wes Shire is going to leave the bottom at all, and nor should he. And Alex Van de Sant knows that top line is the fastest way around, but with these fresher tires that Shire actually has underneath them, he's able to maintain the pace to not allow that door to be shut on the top side. Here you take a look. Can't really see to the left because he's right next to West Shire. There's West Shire again, a shot from his nose, giving plenty of room to Alex Van de Sant, who sneaks ahead. 8 laps to go. Oh, now the overlay catches up. We're green flag, folks. Shire kind of lays off a little bit. Maybe he's timing his run here. Simon fell back on the rear bumper, or the attenuator there, of James Curtis. Curtis could really ill afford to lose much ground here. Curtis going to get a run here down the backstretch. You see him starting to close that gap again. Gets a run off the high side down the backstretch. Going to get right back in the draft, and he's going to be right back into the action here. 5 laps to go. ...21-second lap, so we're looking at about a minute left of this race, folks. Wow, looks like Alex got in there deep, but helped carry that momentum all the way up the racetrack, and a good exit down the down the backstretch. Shire's right there, is trying to find a way around. Only 3 laps to go. Time is running out. Maybe starting to get to a point where we're going to do a full send here. Here we go. He's taking a look underneath. This is it, folks. Alex Van de Sant shuts the door down low going into turns 1 and 2. Brings it out to the wall and down the backstretch, not allowing West Shire to get a run on the high side. West Shire tries to go low, gets a little squirrely. 3 and 4, and it looks like that's going to be enough to give Alex Van de Sant the win. Wow, that was a great finish. And an incredibly quick race. Let's take a look here. Purple lap still maintained with Simon Fell at 21.482. So he will take that one home with him. But your winner, Alex Van de Sant. I'm sure he's much happier with this oval showing versus what happened at Phoenix, as he sits there and lays down some Cooper tire rubber right there on the start-finish line at Iowa Speedway. Let's bring up today's final stats, and we'll start talking to our podium. And this overlay has not been agreeable at all today. There we go. Ooh. Your podium, but your winner there, Alex Van de Sant. West Shire and James Curtis make up your podium. Now this is for Tony Patty, who's spelling it out for me. It's Nagasa. Okay, Nagasa Yoshikawa. Did I say that okay there? Did I pass the Japanese test? Hopefully I did. He P4, Simon Fell P5, your pole sitters. Daniel Smith P6, Alex Teeter P7. John Cosgrove P8, Matt Houston, the boss man, P9, Michael Hannenkamp P10. The Ravion, Team Ravion guys, not a good day, but everyone struggles every now and then. Sabian Ragster P11 after smacking the wall, who brought up our only caution of the day. Tony Patty recovered from a bit of a power slide right in front of the leaders. Great recovery on his part. P12 and Michael Janey, P13. And that's it. We don't have anybody else. So let's get into the interview rooms, and let's see if we have James Curtis here first. We'll bring him up if he's available. There he is. Bringing him on in. James Curtis, P3, great job. Kind of noticed that when it was time to be at the front, you were there, but for most of the race, you're just kind of hanging out there in mid-pack, biding your time.
Yeah, it was kind of a tricky place to pass at. I tried to look on the inside a few times, but just couldn't quite make anything happen, so I decided I'd just kind of take it easy. Take what I'm given, and it ended up working out. I ended up kind of staying on the track a little bit longer, overcut a few people with the pit strategy, and jumped up to third.
It didn't look like that the draft did play a role, but we've been in races here before where it was like big pack races. What was really preventing the big pack race to happen here? Was it just the setup that wasn't just because the setup was set up to allow the tires to go off, or just wasn't as much downforce, or was it too hot, the track temperature? What's your thoughts there?
So I think that it has a little bit more downforce than you would in an open setup. So if you end up watching the broadcast race tonight, those cars are probably going to have less downforce, or maybe a little bit more mechanical grip. I felt like I was able to get a pretty good rotation in the corners whenever the tires were cold. I think what was really slowing me up was the dirty air behind the other cars. So every single time I tried to close up and get into a corner, I'd understeer pretty bad. So, I just wasn't able to time it quite right to keep within about a tenth of a second that I needed to coming out of the corner.
Well, not a bad showing. You kind of backed up your other oval win with a nice oval podium here. You get a week off, and we got 4 more races. Your thoughts? 4 more races to go. I mean, you're still right there in the thick of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exactly where I need to be. Unfortunately, the 2 guys that I'm battling with for the lead finished in front of me, but still, I was able to hang on to them. So, survive Long Beach. That race is always kind of crazy. Anything can happen. So make sure I get points out of that, and then try to take care of business at the next 2 ovals.
Well, there you have it. 2 ovals play into your strength. So we'll get that Long Beach race out of the way. And if you're still in contention, I expect we're going to have a good race on our hands. So congrats on the podium. Have a nice off week, and we'll see you here in a couple of weeks at Long Beach.
Thanks, Gary.
As James Curtis. Let's get Wes Shire in here. Wes, solid points day. Everybody that you needed to finish ahead of, you finished ahead of except one. But all in all, not too bad. Kind of almost full send it there, right there at the very end. It looks like you got a little squirrely, but you recovered. Was there a chance there to maybe pull off the pass, or just the way that the setup and the tires were at that point in time in the race, it was just maybe hoped for, but probably wasn't going to be a factor?
There was a chance if I had been smarter on the restart. Burned up my right front too much, hanging it low for so many laps. The hope was I was going to get him on the first couple laps of the restart, because I did a much better job of getting my tires up. And the one run I had, I backed out of because it was going to be a really high risk move. But yeah, I'll take P2. Wish I could have had the win. I mean, that's a fun race.
Yeah, it looks like you guys were having fun with only one caution. That it went by rather quickly. I noticed that you were. Let me look at the stats. I think you were among the first to make a pit stop. Was that something that you maybe saw last night in the Schaefer Cup race, or maybe during testing you thought it's probably better to stop earlier rather than later?
I got a lot of laps around a lot of ovals in the PM18, but with running in the all-oval series for that, pretty much just run the car out of fuel and go from there. I knew we weren't really going to have any kind of fuel-saving issues at all.
Yeah.
I thought about saving a bit just to try and catch a caution, but since it looked like the race was going to go green, full send, just keep up, try and do the overcut. Would have worked too, but kind of got held up on fresh tires, but that's okay.
Got an off week, so get some rest and everything, but then last quarter of the season, 2 more road courses, 2 more ovals. We're starting with Long Beach. Your thoughts on Long Beach, especially in these cars, and the outlook for the rest of the season? What's the strategy?
Well, I love Long Beach, and I love Milwaukee, and I enjoy Laguna, and I love Gateway. So it should be a fun final bit of the season here.
Well, there you have it. Looks like there's not really. I'm guessing what you're saying is that maybe the Achilles heel out of those last ones are Laguna Seca, but you pretty much feel pretty confident on the other ones. That's what I'm getting from you. So it looks like that it's probably going to set up there for a pretty exciting finish for everybody who's watching from home. So that's what we like as well. Before we let you go, just shout outs. Anybody want to say hi to while we got you here?
Yeah, got to, as always, give you thanks for broadcasting this. Got to say thanks to Tony putting this all on. Thanks to Daredevil paying all the bills, I guess, and thanks to Homestead Coffee keeping me awake and alert enough here. And got one final thing. Round about 23 hours from now, my other life gets to begin as a professional D&D podcaster and live streamer. So if anybody out there wants to check us out, Tales from Rukon over on YouTube. We'll be starting a brand new campaign tomorrow. Got a really fun group of guys, completely custom world, custom music, homebrew mechanics. It's going to be a blast.
All right, and that
7:30 Eastern, YouTube, Tales from Rukon.
That's the channel. Okay, I was getting ready to say, mention that channel again so everyone can to make note of that. And as soon as you're done here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe here and Race First. But then head on over there when you're done. And sounds like he's going to have quite a experience for everybody to play along with tomorrow night. But congratulations on tonight, P2. Still the leader, and get a bit of a break before we get into the final quarter of the season. And you haven't quite run away with it. You got a good lead, but it's slowly getting torn into by Alex Van de Sant. But it's going to make for a pretty exciting finish. So thanks a lot, and congrats, and we'll see you here in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, thanks. See you in a couple weeks.
Let's bring up Alex. Hey, Alex, no controversies tonight. Just kind of your standard race. You kind of led it from the get-go. Had a good battle there with Wes. Once the finals, I guess that last restart, you kind of took command and kept it and kind of didn't quite run away with it, but definitely made it hard for him to pass you. As a result, you get the win and may gain a little space on him in the championship. Your thoughts on the race? It just seemed like pretty much a standard issue race for you, kind of at the front.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome race. Just really straightforward the whole time. Really close battles up front. Seemed like all through the pack. But yeah, Wes is an awesome driver. We were able to go wheel to wheel for like 30 laps throughout the whole race, which was awesome. It's so hard to do that. Yeah, had a lot of fun and took away a win.
We all know that your what you do on your capabilities on the road course, and I know we got a track that you like coming up is Long Beach. We got an off week 4 races ago. Do you think you have enough time to catch Wes?
I think so. We've got, I think it's 2 more road courses. So I mean, I now know I can compete really closely with him on the ovals. So as long as I can close that gap on at Long Beach and Laguna, I can really take advantage and bring it right to the end of the season.
I guess there was kind of one oh crap moment for you, and that's as you guys were going through turns 1 and 2, Tony Patty was kind of sideways in front of you guys. That kind of cost you a little bit of tiny bit of track position, because we all heard you run out, kind of get out of the accelerator a little bit, but Wes stayed in it. Your thoughts on kind of coming around turn 1 to see a car sideways in front of the leaders?
No, that was scary. I knew last time we lapped him, I saw he had some rear wing damage, so I think it just caught him out, and I got out of the gas. I only lost like half a second, and I was able to keep ahead of, I think it was James, right behind me. So then with the draft is just so strong here that I was able to pull right back up to Wes and then challenge him, and then we had the pit cycles, and it all worked out.
Okay, well, we know there's an off week, but I know you have a big weekend coming up this weekend with the ISOWC Indy 500. But anybody that you want to shout out to here while we got you before we let you go, because I think you got to practice for that here tonight.
Yep. As always, big thanks to lmcgear.com as well as Happy Trails Chili Company, my longtime supporters. I think my parents are watching, so
I think who's Ann? Is that your mom?
Yes.
Okay, Aunt, she left a message and she said, "Go Alex." So your cheerleader was cheering.
Yep. Thanks to them, as well as Three Crowns Racing for bringing me on for that ISOWC series, as well as the official Indy Open series. That's all going very well. So thanks.
Alex Vandesan, a very busy man, but has got an off week. But even if it's an off week, it sounds like he still is going to have his hands full with some other things. 4 races ago, thinks he still has a shot. I think he does too. I think it's going to shape up to be a pretty exciting finish. But tonight, another win for Alex. P1 makes up a little ground in the championship. So when we get to Long Beach, we will see how the drama plays out. Congrats, and we will see you in 2 weeks. And good luck at the ISOC 500.
Thanks.
Good night. All right, so that has it. That does it. That has it. Let's go over the standings one more time as you see them on your screen. Alex Vandesan is your winner, as you just heard from him. Wes Shire, James Curtis, they make up the remainder of the podium. Let's say it again. Nagasa, okay. Nagasa Yoshikawa, P4, and Simon Fell, P5. That rounds up your top 5 there. Both those guys had good points days. They're the top 10s in points, so that's going to help them a lot. Daniel Smith, another top 10, finishing 6th. Alex Teeter, P7. John Cosgrove, P8. Matt Houston, I think the race went so quick he was able to run the entire distance, and he finished 9th, get a top 10 out of a race that he was just kind of making some laps here. So congrats. Michael Hannekamp in the Home Depot car finished 10th. Savion Ragster with that vicious wreck that brought out that late caution, P11. Tony Patty with the slide job in 1 and 2 that caused the leaders to momentarily check their contents of their trousers. He finished P12. And Michael Janey, from a winner last week to last place this week. It happens, but not very often. Unfortunately, he had a bad night. Hopefully he can recover and have a good run at Long Beach coming up here in about 2 weeks. So that does it. That is your final standings for tonight. We do have an off week coming up here, so do not try to join us next week. But if you do, you could probably join one of the older broadcasts if you missed it. You'll find them all here on Raceverse, the Daredevil Turbo Series here on Raceverse. We have all past races there that you can watch anytime that your heart desires. So if you feel like watching the race next week, go ahead and tune in one of the older ones. Then in 2 weeks, we will resume again at Long Beach as we begin the run to the championship and Championship Thursday on September 2nd, where we will crown a second Daredevil Turbo Series champion. I think that does it for everybody. Thanks for joining, and everybody be safe. If you're enjoying a good meal at Daredevil tonight, make sure to eat a lot and drink responsibly. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody watching from home. Thanks for all the watch parties. We'll see you in 2 weeks. This is Gary. Race first. Share, like, and subscribe. We'll see you.